So hello everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Biomedcast. And I'm so excited to be starting off this podcast. My name is Faranta Ibrahim and I'm today's host. So since it's our first podcast, let me introduce you to our podcast member. So we have Lillian and Debbie. Would you like to introduce yourself since it's our first podcast?
Oh, hi, I'm Lillian.
Hi, I'm Huitong.
Today's episode, we have an introduction towards ISBS, which is our organizers behind these podcasts. So today we invited two of our ISBS members, Charu and Wei Ming. So would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, everyone. My name is Charu.
And hi everyone, my name is Swim.
All right. So before we start, can you tell everyone about your roles and what your roles involve?
Okay, so firstly, I'm the president of ISBS in a term of 22/23, and Wei Ming is the vice president in this term. So basically, our main responsibility is to conduct the meeting within our committees and also to organize the events in our club. So basically, what we do is we will separate our responsibility by sometimes I will take care of these committees and Wei Ming will take care the others committees. Yeah, so that's how we work in our term. Yeah, so I think Wei Ming, do you need to add on something?
I guess our roles are pretty resembles one another, so we didn't really have a clear division on what our roles are. We just split our responsibilities equally. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So now that you're more clear of their roles, let's ask about ISBS. So ISBS as a club, what purpose do they have in IMU?
Well, ISBS is actually we started off this club as since 2017. So as of now, it has been lasting for about 5 years already. So it's a compulsory club for all biomedical science students. So that means that once you're enrolled to this program, you're automatically considered as a member. So until when you sign up as a committee, you are then you have a responsibility to help in terms of organizing this club, help in maintaining the club as well. So under ISBS, we have about 3 events. So that includes firstly our major event, which is BM Week, Biomedical Science Week. So this is a very big event for the club. So essentially, we are open to public for this event, and it essentially revolves around the program. So for example, we did a year of forensic science. We did a crime scene, and we will allow people from the outside to participate in terms of how to investigate, how does it correlate with the program, and we also did on histology. But it was during the pandemic, so unfortunately we have to conduct it online. And I believe that we are doing another BM week this year in regards to fungus mycology. And there's our second event. It's a senior junior night that involves the seniors and juniors, where we exchange not as responsibilities like experiences on how does the biomedical science works, how do we do our reports, how fun is this program, and and the third event, it will be the fundraising event. So this is where we aim to raise funds for the club. So these funds usually go to how can we make this club a better one. So how can we improve our future events and whatnot. And fortunately, this year we did came out with a new event, which is our podcast, right? So this is our fourth event as of now. Yeah. So that's all.
So let's say I'm a new biomedical science student in IMU and I enrolled in this program and then I'm approached by ISBS. So what do ISBS provide to a new student like me from enrolling to biomed? Like what are the advantages that I get from ISBS and what helpful advice that they give, regarding to biomedical science?
So first and foremost, the biomedical science students will get to participate the events like we just talked about, like the BM Week. So basically, we are very happy to have our new students or our juniors to come to organize our events as well. So this also can help them to improve their organization skills and also their communication skills. And also, especially for the senior junior night, we always like recruit the new subcommittee to the group of students like our juniors will be the new subcommittees in this senior junior night. Yeah, so they will get many opportunities to develop their soft skills in this society, and also can participate many events, many fun events that we have just talked about just now.
So in a sense, it's like we create a family between our own course and
Yes.
help out with each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. And you mentioned a lot of events there. So I want to go through each event one by one and talk about their purpose and what they're actually for. So first is the podcast. So I know it's a relative. If you guys don't know, this is actually a really new podcast. We haven't done a podcast before, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know what is the aim of this podcast? Like when you first thought of it, what do you want this podcast to be to other people who watches ISBS content?
So since it's a very new event, we are definitely we are still fresh to this kind of system on how can we bring out what kind of goods that we can bring out to the biomedical science program. Not just within the biomedical science, how can we bring good to the public in terms of to the public. So the committee of the podcast team, our aim is to bring out the good of biomedical science, to spread the awareness of what is biomed. So because when I think you guys have definitely encountered situations where a family or friend ask us that what kind of degree are you studying and what are you majoring?
Yeah.
I'm majoring in biomedical science. What's that? So are you going to become a doctor? I believe that we all have encountered these kind of situations, but we are not doctors. We are biomedical scientists. We work in the lab. We undergo specimens. We have to do a lot of tests and diagnose patients. So essentially, this podcast is meant to be to spread the awareness on what's biomedical science. That's our main goal. And nevertheless, we still can create some other topics that will be, I believe you guys have prepared as well in the future, more exciting topics in regards to biomedical science as well. So yeah, that's our main goal.
Okay, so and then our next event is our SJN. I believe Charu, you have been a project leader of the SJN. So can you tell us about what SJN is for and how it helps the students?
Okay, so Senior Junior Night is a small event that ISBS will held every year. So it will be held around like the orientation week. So basically the SJN is provide the opportunity for the juniors to approach their seniors so that they will not feel like very lost once they are coming to their new universities and also the new environment. So the juniors will also get their direct seniors. So means like there will be a senior guiding the juniors in their whole university life. So the juniors can always ask anything about the program and also the university to their direct seniors. And also juniors will also get in touch with their own course mate, as we are always have the ice breaking games and the interactive games between the groups. Yeah, so that they can know their who is their course mates, and also will not like feel very shy once the course has started. Yeah, so basically it provides opportunities for the juniors to get in touch with their course mates and also their seniors as well.
Okay. So SJN is also similar like an orientation,
Yeah.
but specifically for biomed and to get to know their senior better and interact with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So next event that I think Wei Ming mentioned about fundraising. So can you explain more about ISBS fundraising?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, our fundraising event essentially aims to raise the funds for the club, to improve the quality of our event, etc. So I was the fundraising director on the previous term. So we will design merchandises that is related uh, to our biomedical science team. So last year we did something on bacterial design. There's a microscope. The design revolves around the microscope, being where bacteria is identified under a microscope, and that was printed on our hoodies. And we sold out to a lot of programs, including medicine, biotech, and etc. as well. So on the previous years as well, we also sold out T-shirts, we sold out lanyards, and basically the aim is to also spread uh, the awareness of what's biomedical science, but most importantly to raise funds for the club as well. It's a very minor event that revolves around the fundraising director. Essentially we have to plan on how can we promote our sales. So we can promote through our social media platform. We have an Instagram, we have a Facebook account, so we will promote them through these social media platforms. There are more other ways, for example giving out flyers to we will create a booth to sell it out to more other courses instead of just doing it online purchasing.
So fundraising, every year they have like a new theme of um, items, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so when do you think the fundraising will start for this
It
term?
usually starts around the middle of the new term. So our new term starts since November, right? So and I guess it will be starting around May or June.
And it's open to all the courses, everyone in IMU.
Yes.
Okay. So speaking of social media posts you mentioned, so I wanna dive deeper into what our ISBS social media contains. You know what they post regularly and what they tell to the audience.
So basically, our ISBS IG is started from 2020. So I'm the PR for the previous term. So basically, the contents in the IG and also the Facebook will be collaborate between the PR and also the design team. Since the PR will preparing the content, and the design team will prepare the poster designs. Yeah. So once the poster has been done, PR will post the posters or the information on the Instagram and also the Facebook. So basically, the contents is around the diseases or the biomedical science or the like what the biomedical scientists do in the lab. Yeah. So the fun fact is in my term, I will like prepare some memes for the IG post. So especially around the exam week, so just let our students to feel relaxed and not that stressed. Yeah, it's a platform to share the information and also the platform for distress as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So moving on to our last event, the biggest event I would say in ISBS is the BM Week. So BM Week has been going on for a while now, right? So can you guys give a recap of previous events and this event and what the event actually means to ISBS?
Okay, so this is a major event for biomedical science. It actually it determines the reputation of how our program goes. So on the previous years, from what I recall, we did a crime scene that revolved where the team is forensic science. So every year, we'll plan out a committee. We'll plan a committee to organize this event, and this particular committee they'll come up with a team every year on how to plan this BM week. So on previous years, we did forensic science, and during the pandemic, we did something about histology. And on this year, BM Week 2023, we are going to do something about mycology, which is the study of fungus. So this event is actually the duration of this event lasts around a week, depending on the committee how do they want to plan it. It can be 3 days, it can be more than 4. So the most it would be 1 week. So throughout this whole week time, we'll be preparing games. We'll be inviting guests from other schools, from other labs, from private labs, from hospitals, wherever it is. We'll find some experts that is specializing in to that particular topic. So on the previous years, we did histology, right? We did invite our previous lecturer, who taught us pathology, if I'm not mistaken. He did a recap on breast cancer. He showed us some images. He taught the public on how to raise awareness on breast cancer. How does the tissue in the breast cancer looks like under microscope? What kind of tests can be done in order to diagnose breast cancer, etc. So throughout this whole week, as I mentioned before, we'll plan out some games. We'll invite guests to give a talk on the field that they are specializing in. We are going to set up booths as well, for the public to experience, first to do a first-hand experience on how does a biomedical science will they do in the lab. So for example, we did something on forensic science as well, as I mentioned before. So forensic science, something that we can't avoid is blood testing, right? So how do we obtain blood? We'll obtain blood through venipuncture. So I believe that we all did it before. So there's a hand model at the clinical lab. I guess we'll bring it out, let the public to have an experience on how to perform venipuncture. So yeah, and I believe that we're gonna have some competition as well. So along these games, you're gonna gain points, and on the final day itself, we'll reveal who is the winner, and we're gonna give out prizes. So it's an educational event. At the same time, we are gonna make it fun and inspiring to the public to join the big family.
So it's not only open to IMU.
No, it's to the public.
Oh, so
Yeah.
anyone can come.
Yes.
So, you mentioned also about committee recruitment. I forgot to bring this up. So, how does the committee recruitment take place for every event?
So basically, for the SJN, it will be the first recruitment in the term. So SJN recruitment we will send a message to the juniors like we are going to recruit the subcommittee for the SJN. So anyone who is interested, you can just fill out the form and we will arrange an interview for you. Yeah. So so same to the other recruitment, like for the BM week as well, and also the main committee recruitment. So the SJN recruitment will be around like right after the BM week, and the BM week recruitment will be right after, I think, after the SJN committee interview is done, then we will start the BM week recruitment. And then when the term is going to finish, we will start the recruitment of the main committee for the new term as well. Yeah.
And I think one more thing from ISBS is about their e-magazine. So, can you explain what the e-magazine is?
Okay, so EMAG is a annual thing that we do throughout the year since 2017. So every year, it's somewhat the same like BM Week. We'll pick a team on what to do for this EMAG. So previous year we did something on neuroscience. So while this year it's undecided yet, but we do have a editorial team. So this editorial team, they will be deciding on what kind of team that we're going to do this year. Not just this year, along the years. They're gonna recruit writers. So this EMAG essentially consists of what's biomedical science, what's the team for the choice of team. Why did they choose this team? And they recruit writers to write articles on this team. And I guess they also recruit some students as well from the biomedical science program to talk about how do they adapt to this environment, how do they adapt to the online, to the 50% where we have to learn online and we have to come back for physical classes. How do they any other new techniques to learn how to prepare for exams. Yeah, so we'll recruit writers from all different kind of aspects, and we'll also so this editorial team, they will be also collaborating with the designing team. So if we were to do a magazine, that means that we have to design as well, right? So yeah, this both of these teams will essentially collaborate with one another, and throughout this entire term, which lasts around 1 year approximately, and they'll be releasing this e-magazine during the senior junior night itself. So that means that the juniors, they will be exposed to this new magazine that we have done, and they'll have a good read, hopefully. So yeah, that's all for EMAG.
So EMAG like consists of a lot of advice from seniors.
Not just
Not-
advisors, but more to like an article book in regards to the team that we chose. So for example, neuroscience, there'll be a lot of information regards to neuroscience. What is it? What can we do? Is it the importance of it in the medical field, and etc.
Okay.
If the public are interested to read our e-magazine, perhaps can you explain how they're going to access to our e-magazine?
Oh yeah, we will prepare a link. E-magazine, it's electronic magazine. It's not a physical book. So e-magazine will be preparing a link or a QR code, and we'll be publishing it on the internet. We'll be listing out those where to get our e-magazine through our social media platforms. So that means that our social media platforms are very, very important for this club to promote not just the EMAG, our events, and fundraising events as well.
Okay. So before moving on, do you guys have any plans for newer events in the future, or anything planned out that have not been done previously?
Well, we are currently, since this podcast is a new event, we started off this first year, and I believe that both me and Cheryl thinks that quality is definitely over quantity, right? So as we produce more events, that means that the quality somehow will decrease. So we wouldn't want that. Since this podcast is our new event, we would like to focus on that first. But along the months that on our term, if we were to thought of any new events, we will definitely discuss it throughout with the committee, get their opinions first. Then only we will come up with that event. Because to prepare an event in the school itself, we have to go through a lot of processes. We have to do a proposal writing. We have to obtain budget. We have to obtain any collaborations from external parties. We have to get our supervisors' approval, and also we have to get approval from the student hub as well. Yeah, so it goes through a lot of processes. So we cannot just one fine day, I want to make this event. Okay, that's impractical. So yeah, we have to focus one by one first. So far, we have no thoughts yet.
So, including all these events, like I understand you guys are also from the previous term as different roles. So, has it been hard to return from lockdown in terms of creativity or any new plans or anything in general? Any hardships that you faced during last term into this term, or because last term are mostly online, I would say, and this term, we're trying to do everything physical. Is there any complications you face through?
So basically, during the MCO, we are doing all the events online. So the advantages to have the online event is you no need to have the venue issue, you don't no need to have the booking issue. You just need to the application process will be much more easier than the physical one, of course. So once the event is shifting into the physical, so the application process will be much more complicated than the previous one. So like for example, the SJN in the last year is the first physical event in ISBS after the MCO. So what we did is we have to go through a many application process, like the venue booking, the date booking, and also the venue booking is not like I want this place, then I can get the place. You have to compete with other society as well. So like last year, initially we want to book the auditorium as our venue for the SJN, but unfortunately the venue is already booked by the other society for the orientation as well. So we only can change our venue into the smaller lecture hall. So that is the hardship that we face lah. Yeah.
So how about like outside of event, maybe because Chari, you were the PR and Wei Ming fundraising, right, last time. So last time during a PR and fundraising, what are the problems you guys face while doing your jobs?
So basically for the PR is I think it's still the same between online and the physical, because the communication is still going on via emails and also the social media. So I think for me PRs has not a big problem, but I'm not sure for the
Fundraising. How about like problems in general? It doesn't have to include online or anything. Like what problems do you have when you're fundraising? You know,
fundraising wise, I can recall recall a problem I faced. So last year, I sold out hoodies, right? So to sell hoodies, I have to test the materials.
Okay.
So since it was during COVID times, I think we can't visit factories. We can't. There's a danger. So because people are not wearing masks time to time. So there's a danger in terms of to test the materials and whatnot. So communication wise with the manufacturer, there's a huge problem. We did procrastinate. We did procrastinate, and we were very back in terms of schedule. I can remember wrapping up my fundraising event on the very last day of my term. So on the very last day of my term is also the day where we reveal our new roles. When we reveal, where you guys were recruited. Remember the day of revealing? That was the day where I finally wrap up my event. So I was very back in terms of scheduling. So that was the main difficulty. But I believe since the borders are open compared to the past 2 years, I guess fundraising wise it wouldn't be the problem. But that's all up to our new fundraiser now. So
someone else's problem.
We'll help her out, but all depends to her, I guess.
So I'm curious, during your fundraising time, what items did you come up with, and how did you come up with
the initial thought was to create a calendar. So the calendar includes our deadlines for our report. Includes holidays as well, public holidays, when's our sem break. But the design wise for that calendar, I was thinking of going with a funky way, not a very nerdy biomedical science team design. I was going to do something like, so say for example 31st is a holiday, so for during 28 to 29, my plan was to design something like countdown to holiday, day D1, D2, something like that. So that was the initial plan, and somehow we did change our fundraising item to hoodies as well, because hoodies is a pretty fresh idea for last year. I don't recall any clubs who sold hoodies. I remember clubs selling T-shirts and tote bags, so that's pretty common already, I guess. So in order to come up with fresh items, we have to break our boundaries. So hoodies may seem like it's a very expensive item. So we go to other outlets to buy hoodies. It's mostly over like what 60 ringgit
Yeah,
and
yeah.
above, and some others are even 100 plus. So it's a very expensive item, but we thought that it's a very long lasting kind of thing. So yeah, we chose this.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, cause like you're a fundraising director, right? So do you like design also like the hoodies,
Oh, no.
T-shirts?
I also collaborated with the designing team.
Mm.
Yeah, so that means that the designing team has a very huge responsibility in terms. They have to design a lot of stuff. They have to design our posts for our Instagram, Facebooks. We have to design for they have to design for the Emacs as well. They have to design for the fundraising events as well. That includes also other events like BM Week and also SJN. They have to probably they may require some tools. They may require some objects that helps in terms of the event designing, and that's all up to them. So they carry a very huge responsibility.
Yeah, I think hoodies is a really popular item also in Malaysia, so I think that's a good idea for fundraising. Because I actually saw the hoodie design from last year and it's really nice, but at that time I was trying to save up. So do you guys sell the item from previous term to this term, or you come up with something new?
Depending on whether if we have any real leftovers, not to say leftovers, because we did it in a way to buy a large quantity first, and depending on the sales, we'll then only give out. So just in case if there's any leftovers, we will carry forward to the next term. So say for example, last year I also did sold out lanyards, right? So that lanyards are actually from the previous term. From previous term. It was during the 2020 to 2021 term. They sold lanyards and they have some leftovers. So I thought about it. Well, it's a very popular item as well for within our ISBS community. So I decided to carry forward those items and sell it out. And I got a pretty good sales for the lanyards itself.
Is that your like bestseller?
My hoodies are the best.
So the hoodies are sold out completely?
Yeah, the hoodies are sold out.
Okay. So I feel like not only fundraising, I think all roles have strict scheduling. Everyone has to properly do their task before the deadline, and so I know it's a little too early right now because we're still in the middle of our term. I want to ask, do you guys have any advice for future ISBS committee members as your role right now and as your previous role, so PR and president for Charu and Wei Ming, maybe fundraising and vice president? Do you have any advices for the future committee?
In general, I hope that the committee members will just do your best on your position and try to be creative on your responsibilities as well, so that our society can get better and better. So for PR, I just hope that the social media account can be managed well and also help to promote our club to the public as much as possible. So just to let the public know about the IMU biomedical science and also the biomedical science in Malaysia. Yeah.
For fundraiser and VP in general, I would say to communicate well. Communication is a very important key in terms of working as a group, not just within a group. Our university lives as well. We have a lot of projects we have to do. After that, we have to come out for interns. So communication is a very important tool to work. and also active listening.
Mm.
Always listen to other people's opinion, even though they disagree with yours. They could mean well. And I guess that's all. You just communicate well, and I believe there wouldn't be any conflict. Yeah.
And also the time management is quite important because you need to take care of your academic and also your core curriculum. So without time management, you can't do things well, either in your core curriculum or in your academic. So for the juniors who want to be recruited in a new committee, just think twice or thrice whether you are ready to be the committee in ISBS and also the subcommittee of the event. Yeah.
So, speaking of time management, how do you? Because I know you have to take care of a lot of other committees. How do you personally handle time management as the president and vice president?
So for me, my priority, I will focus on the academic first because it determines that whether we can graduate from IMU or not. So the main thing is you have to take care about your academic first, and then you only can take some time to take care of the core curriculum. So for me, I would like plan like 1 to 2 plans for the academic, like one is for doing reports and one is for doing PPT, and another one will be like get meeting with my committee members. So for me, I will not put more than 3 tasks for days, so I will not feel like very overloaded. Yeah.
Wei Ming?
Personally, I'm not a very good person to talk to in terms of time management. I'm a procrastinator, to be honest, but personally, I would say that I put my academics first as well, and then I'll only plan to do when to I will discuss with Sharu when to do a meeting with you all, when to do a meeting with the committees in general. Yeah, so time management. I'm not the best person to talk to.
But so far you made it this far, so I guess it's not that
Well,
bad.
I guess
right?
my technique works.
Yeah, I think we've gathered a lot of information, and I hope the viewers understand more about ISBS and what it is as a committee and how it can help them in the future, the events, and yeah, pretty much everything. So before we end the session, I would like to I would like everyone who's watching to follow our Instagram because we are regularly posting in Instagram, and our PR is actually doing a really good job there. And our Instagram also shows upcoming events and also the fundraising if you guys are interested. So, yeah, I think that's all we have for today, and I would like to thank everyone for watching.